Dan Illman, Mike Beard kicking off the graded stakes action at Kentucky Downs on Saturday with race number 6. Here's the field for the Mint Ladies Sprint. $600,000 is the purse. Fillies and mares 3 and up going 6.5 furlongs on the turf. Venetian Harbor, Mike. She's very versatile. She likes dirt. She loved turf 2 starts back in the Monrovia, and she ran well going a distance that might be a little far for her last time out on the main track in the Clement Hirsch.
Yeah, I agree. She ran pretty well last time against a really nice horse, going a distance that may be beyond her best. But she's a really nice horse, and I think you'd have to say she's the so-called best horse in the race. We'll see what kind of price she is, and then we'll see what she does in a turf race if they make her run a little bit. Man, you go back to that Monrovia 2 starts back. I don't know if you agree or not. Did she? I mean, I felt like she just got absolutely loose on a slow pace in there and had no trouble handling that field.
No, I agree with you. She had an easy lead that day, and Timeform US believes the pace will be faster this time around. Now, we throw up the pace projector, and Venetian Harbor is expected to make the lead in a fast-paced scenario. Personally, I think she's a lot quicker than both Our Musical Moment or Superstition, and I'm not sure if Jakarta has the speed that she once had. I think there is a chance that this pace projector might be a little off and that Venetian Harbor might grab the lead again. I actually think the number 8 might be the one that could put some heat on early, and that's Jeannie B.
Yeah, I agree with you. We'll see how fast she has to go in here, but I mean, Superstition was in that Monrovia 2 starts back and didn't go after her early. Maybe they'll decide to change tactics this time, but that certainly wasn't the case when they met up 2 starts ago. And I'm with you on Jakarta. I just don't know if she can run anymore.
The one Go-Go Shoes beat a couple next out winners last time out at Colonial going 5.5. That was a 2 other than optional claimer. She received blinkers for the first time. I thought all in all, the trip was there for her. This is a big step up in class.
Yeah, a really big step up in class. She's pretty good. And I like that she's versatile, Dan. She won that race, sitting off the pace a little bit. She won an allowance race at Aqueduct off the layoff back in April, just going right to the lead and getting control of the pace. So it feels like you can just give her any kind of a trip. And she does, tend to show up and run 2 starts back. She had a big pace in front of her going 7, and she rallied.
Our Musical Moment's a cool horse. She's won 10 times. She's a restricted stakes winner on dirt. She was also claimed for $8,000 4 starts back and has yet to win on turf. She's going to be a giant price.
Yeah, huge price in here. I don't see how you can really make a case for her except that she likes to win races.
She's So Special tried to rally into that slow pace set by Venetian Harbor in the Monrovia. They've stretched her out in 2 subsequent starts. Let's watch her most recent effort on August the 14th, a mile race, an optional claimer at Del Mar. She's So Special on the outside here is going to try to grind it out. She's going to run second. I don't mind horses turning back at this distance at Kentucky Downs. I think these last 2 races have built up the requisite bottom for her, and she is a stakes-winning turf sprinter in Southern California. I think she needs to take a slight step forward.
That's how I feel about her too. I think that race that we just watched and perhaps the one before it, I think they're fine. They didn't really do anything for me. I don't think they make her that competitive in this race. I mean, she's okay. I just don't really see the race of hers that makes her one of the major players in here.
Let's watch It's Ginger's recent race. This is the prep at Ellis Park, the Kentucky Downs Ladies Sprint preview. She got right up close to the pace in here. There was a pretty solid pace, sub 44 half mile. She's going to eventually get by this horse down on the inside and is now paired up by her tops of 92 in her last 2 races. I'm just not sure what she beat in this race. There wasn't a lot of closing going on at the end.
Yeah, that was my problem too. I mean, I get that the fractions look fast, but she and the runner-up were sitting right up on the pace together the entire way. They ran 1-2, and nobody made up any ground on them. I don't know. I'm not going to knock her dead. Her last 2 races are good, and they got figures for them, but I thought she had easy trips both times.
Jakarta did win at Kentucky Downs last fall. Nice to see that she has winning experience over this tricky course. Her recent form, though, makes me wonder if she's seen better days. She ran on the Caress last time out, purse money only going 5.5. Didn't make the lead, really didn't fire.
Yeah, I mean, she was just in way better form last year when she won over this course. And so far this year, she doesn't look like that horse. I get that there were problems last time. She had a run for purse money only after a shoe issue, but she didn't do any running in that race. And then, the race before that against Robin Sparkles, where she just didn't show any speed at all. It says stumbled at the start. She did, but it wasn't a terrible start. She just didn't show any speed.
Richard Mandela sends in the 6 Superstition from Southern California off a win in the Daisy Cutter, going 5/8 of a mile on the turf. Let's watch that race right now. There was a good pace on in here, and Superstition was able to tuck in behind the leaders. She eases out into the stretch. She comes with a nice determined run as the favorite to win. I like that she ran down this horse. This horse on the lead might be okay, Mike. The third place finisher would come back to run second in an optional claimer with a 90 buyer. 6.5, I don't think is going to be a problem for her. She won the Wishing Well earlier this year at this distance, and she seems tactical.
I agree. I liked that performance from her right there. I didn't like her Monrovia two back when Venetian Harbor beat her, but maybe she just, got the wrong ride that day where they just weren't aggressive enough with her, and she had no chance. I suppose that could be a real excuse for her because she really did run perhaps the best race of her career last time.
Another horse that's going to be turning back in distance is the 7, Catch a Bid, off a stakes win at Mountaineer. Let's watch the West Virginia President's Cup on West Virginia Derby Day. Catch a Bid just got a typically great ground-saving ride from Corey Lannery. The pace was solid up front, not spectacular. He rode this horse like she was a winner every step, and once she gets to the clear, she proved he was absolutely right.
Yeah, just absolutely crushed this field. Perfect trip or not, she was much the best in there. You could say that, a little bit of clash relief helped her there, and getting more distance probably helped her too. They've tried to make her a sprinter, and so far this year, and I guess she's run okay in some of those races. I was still on the fence about it, but these 6.5s at Kentucky Downs play a lot longer. I think it's really going to help this horse.
And I talked to Joe Sharp before the race at Mountaineer, and he said he just wanted to get a nice effort into her because he wanted to run her in a turn-back situation at Kentucky Downs. Here it is. The plan's worked so far. Here's the 8 Jeannie B's last race, the Grade 2 Royal North at Woodbine, going 3/4 of a mile. She only gets beat a nose. I think Antonio Gallardo could have been a lot more aggressive leaving the gate, broke well with this horse, took back, let the 26-1 shot Sister Peacock make the lead. That put Jeannie B on the chase. It wasn't a fast pace. Eventually, she takes care of of Sister Peacock here, and she's just going to get run down by Amalfi Coast from the inside. It was a good effort from her. I'm not sure if it's a bad loss or if she could have won if she was more aggressively ridden. Still trying to figure that one out.
I think she ran really well in there. Listen, maybe you could say she had a clear lead in the stretch she's supposed to win. Amalfi Coast is a really nice horse that ran her down. And even the horse who was third there gaining ground is a really nice horse as well. I thought Jeannie B ran a very good race last time. I think she's a nice fit in here.
Up from Gulfstream Park, the 9, La Guerta, third last time out in a handicap at Gulfstream. Let's watch that race. You're going to notice as they turn into the stretch that she's down towards the inside. And the jock is looking for somewhere to run with her, and she's trying to get out, and she's bouncing off a horse that's next to her, and she's still got the 16-1 shot in front of her. Now the inside opens up. Here comes La Guerta. She's going to still be in tight. Just nothing worked out for her in that race. The problem is now she's taking a big step up in class.
Exactly. I mean, fair to say that she was best in that race last time. I don't know what that means in the context of her stepping up to face this field because this is a really good field.
Here's Venetian Harbor's win on turf in the Monrovia. And keep in mind, friends, this race came off about a 7-month layoff, and maybe she was handed the lead. The first quarter mile was very, very easy, and it's not like they put a lot of heat on her in mid-stretch. But I think they wanted to see, does she handle the turf? Yes, she handles it very, very well. She has never asked for run. And as Mike mentioned, she came out of this race to run into the very good She Dares the Devil on dirt. She is probably the horse to beat.
Yeah, she is. I just think it's pretty fair to say she's the most talented horse in the race. And listen, she obviously ran well in there. She had all the best of it on the lead where it just felt like nobody was interested in challenging her early. And then she was just ridden out through the stretch. And I don't think that was, some kind of huge surprise. Dan, this filly debuted on turf as a 2-year-old and actually ran really well to finish a close second in a very strong race. So, she's very versatile. She doesn't necessarily have to be right on the lead. If somebody else decides to go, she can sit a little bit. She's the horse to beat. It's up to you how short a price you want to take on her.
The 11 Violenza up in class for trainer Ian Wilkes after taking advantage of a real hot pace to win a Colonial last time out. They went 21 flat for the opening quarter. Violenza sat way off the pace, came with a strong run to win, and not sure who she was beating. The 7th place horse did come back to run second with an 82 buyer, but that horse is 1 for 25 lifetime.
Yeah, maybe she'll catch another pace in here. That'll set up for her. She'll make another run into it. At the end of the day, she did, even though she won a little bit of a stakes race last time, she didn't really improve off of what she'd been doing before. The trip had everything to do with it.
And Constantia, the 12, the last horse entered in the body of the race, got up for second in the Venetian Harbor clip we showed you. She just has no early speed. Then she was fifth in the Superstition race we saw. She just likes to rally from off the pace. Maybe she'll get a big pace this time around, and the 6.5 should work better than the 5 from last time.
I mean, I think that's true. I think cutting her back to 5 probably worked against her. Not that she was going to necessarily beat Superstition in that spot anyway, as well as that filly ran. But the longer distance here helps her. You know, at the end of the day, Dan, she really did run well in the Monrovia 2 starts back. She was way out of it and was clearly second best at the end.
Top pick time for the Mint Ladies Sprint. Venetian Harbor, the horse to beat. We're going to try to beat her, catch a bid. I like her cutting back in distance. She won very, very easy last time out. This is a horse that's always had a little bit of potential, and maybe she's finally living up to it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I liked about her too. I was a big fan of hers early on when Chad had her. It's fair to say she never panned out for him, but I still think she had some ability. I think the cutting back to 6.5 over this turf course could help her, and maybe she'll catch some pace.
I went back and forth about Jeannie B's last race. I finally ended up agreeing with you. I think she ran pretty well, all things considered. I liked her tactical speed. I think she'll be in there with a chance when the field turns for home, and I think the price will be okay. Second star off a short layoff. 8-10-4-7 for me, 7-12-10-8 for Mike. The grade 3 Mint Ladies Sprint at Kentucky Downs on Saturday. Best of luck.